Alright, I'm going to start this off right here at the workbench area. I've already got everything cleared and cleaned off, and I am preparing to install my first piece of probably a lot of drywall. I have 3 sheets that are left over from our house from when we did the drywall in the house. We saved them. We didn't take them back to the store. I didn't at that point know that I was going to have this project, but figured, you know what, it's easier to keep it here on site. Knowing us, we'll get into something and need it, so we saved it. Being a storage shed and being an unconventional kind of project, we're going to be doing drywall differently as well. What I'm talking about is the fact I'm not going to remove the loft, I'm not going to remove the workbench, and I will install drywall to cover up the areas. We'll skip above the loft and below the workbench and put more drywall there. It makes no sense to tear apart the loft and the workbench, which are nailed in place, no screws, just to put up drywall and then cut everything down by 1 inch or so because of that additional width or narrowing of the building we do, just to put it right back in place. I'll be able to seal the drywall to the underside of the loft, the top of the loft, likewise on the workbench. There'll be nothing coming in or out, and it will be fine. Again, this is very different from what you would ever want to do in a home, but for this instance, this scenario, it's going to work fine. Oh, whoop, wow! For this install, I'm going to be using 1 5/8 inch long coarse drywall screws, and I'll be setting them in place with the Bosch Dempler drywall bit. When we did our home renovations, this was my favorite one. I had lost it, but now I found it, and this is what I'm going to be using. We'll try. Nice, it looks really good, and that was pretty easy to install. So the question or the thing you're probably saying, wondering, asking, telling me, Sam, what about the drywall behind the loft? What about the drywall behind the workbench? Isn't stuff going to happen? Aren't bugs going to get there and problems pursue you for the rest of your life? I don't think so. I can't tell you that answer, so stick around. I don't think so, because the drywall seals where the 2x4 then takes the place sealing against the wall. What I will do is I will caulk and make sure that these seams are sealed up, and then I don't think we'll have any problems. So for that question, I say not a big deal. For the next piece, I may be pushing the envelope on my skills with drywall, so this may be a complete failure. What I'm going to try to do is cut one piece that goes from the corner all the way to this wall stud, which is the closest to 48 inches wide, but keep it solid under the workbench, around and above. One solid piece. So I need to measure my full sheet, X tall, X wide, then measure the height location of that workbench thickness for the framing and everything, subtract it, and I hope I don't mess it up. But it's okay. This is free drywall, so it's okay. But I don't want to mess it up. I possibly bit off more than I can chew doing that one big piece, but the piece survived. It was a little bit of crack at the corner, but it did not completely tear and separate. So I guess I bared through it. Oh my gosh, I don't know that I'm going to repeat that. For the other side, I don't know. Actually, you know what? There's a window there, so saved by the window. Other than that, it does look pretty good. It is nice to actually have what on camera looks like a perfectly stark white wall, probably. But eventually it'll be painted and finished. I don't know what colors or anything, but eventually in real life it'll look like it does on TV. Oops. So it's the next day, obviously the sun's out, fun's out, so pretty cool. 2 more sheets put on the wall. I'm going to stop at this point as far as working my way towards the food storage side of the building. At this point, 12 feet into the 20-foot total length, so I've surpassed my halfway point that I've been allowed. I'm just kidding, there's none of that stuff going on. So pretty quickly, I was able to put 2 panels up here. Thankfully there wasn't much cutting. I just ripped the ends off to make them at the height they needed to be, and then a tiny little bit of notching over there at the loft. It looks really good. It looks really, really good. And this is the perks of drywall. You can hang it pretty quickly. No, finishing's not always the quickest, but whatever. That's pretty good progress. By this point in this video and the last one, you'll have seen me move this scaffolding around a few times. I bought this brand new whenever I was building my workshop. I thought I would need it then, but never did. So I left it in the box, and honestly, the past couple of days I've been in here, well, longer, for insulation as well. I've been looking at it thinking, man, do I unbox it and use it, or do I try and just sell it new? I think I've decided I'm going to unbox it. I'm going to put it together. I'm actually going to use it because it's going to be really, really difficult to put the drywall panels on the ceiling just from a ladder. At least this way, it'll allow me a lot more room to work and move around. I can kind of use it as a place to rest the drywall, maybe. I don't know, I'm guessing. But why not? I bought it. I don't think it's going to hurt the value to resell it, whether it's been opened or not. I don't think anyone's going to care about that. So hey, let's go ahead and open up this tool that at this point is about 7 to 8 months old. New in box. Wait, what's the term? New old stock. There you go. How many can you do? 1. Oh, that's a lot more than I can do.
Here, Elijah.
Careful. Stuff's very fragile, guys.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. Now, what we need is like tape or something. No, we need drill. Screws?
Now, if you're able to, I need you to try and make sure this crack right here is perfectly aligned. See how you can see wood?
Yeah.
You need me to get up there and show or help?
I think it will need 3.
Hang on,
so
wait.
One.
Yeah. Can you put a screw in the top like that or the bottom?
Oh, come on.
It's alright. Take your
Whoa.
time. There's no rush.
It's pushing it back. There.
Good job. Now just do like 3 or 4 just along the top, just like that, and that'll be perfectly fine for that loft. What do you think, guys?
Cool, cool. First time putting up drywall, I think. Which I have never gone up here. Just this one time.
So I've drywalled half of the walls of the building. That is a pretty good milestone, a good accomplishment, considering a large part of today was spent, going to the store, getting materials, and I didn't really get started until around 3 to 4 o'clock, somewhere around there. Can't remember. But hey, by 8:30, this is done. Looks pretty good. As you guys saw, I decided to test my luck once again, doing a very weird shaped panel, and this one went very good. So yay. I still kind of have it, I guess. I don't know. It looks a lot better than the other side, that is for sure. Cutting the window out was pretty easy. I just cut like a little rectangle out in the middle and then stuck my tape measure through, measured to the framing members, translated it to the outside of the wall, and cut it. Not too bad. Then I moved over, did the door, and there you go. Half of the walls in the workshop are done. Everything on this whole side is drywalled, okay, from, here down. I have not done the ceiling yet. I have not done the loft wall back there, the triangle shaped one. And there's going to be a little piece up here that I've not done either. Or there is a piece I haven't done. But hey, for a little couple hours worth of work for today, not too bad. I do have more drywall. I bought some thinner drywall for the ceiling. I think I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here. We'll pick it up tomorrow or whenever I start doing drywall again. Because honestly, the loft and the ceiling is the next stuff that I'm going to be doing. I finished up the walls last night, as much of the Havens drywall as I purchased. I have some odd bits left over here and there, but as far as full sheets, that's it. I did also buy some 3/8 drywall for the ceiling, so I have 5 of those panels, and I'm going to try and tackle that next. So I've got to cut 4 inches off the length of this panel, and I'm trying to do it without taking it back outside, which is probably my downfall. Nice. There is no way I could have done that without this tool. So, tool just paid for itself. So many times it just paid for itself. That's not going to work. That's going to be an absolute catastrophe nightmare if I try and do this by myself. So I can wait to see if I can get some help with Angela, or I can cut this down to 4-foot sections. I'm gonna try and do the 4-foot section because Angela's out at homeschool co-op today, and that just otherwise would mean stopping for several hours. So let's try that. Yeah, it's either gonna work or not, right? Right. There's absolutely no way I can do this part by myself. So I've got Elijah coming out to help me just for a few minutes. Get him to help hold this back corner so that I can hold it up. He can hold it up with me and we attach it to the roof. I am glad that is done, but my goodness, that was a pain. Oh my gosh. Oh, at least the drywall is hung now. And I found out that loft, no problem supporting Sam weight, which is cool because the boys honestly want to make that into a clubhouse. So that's also the reason I went through all the trouble to drywall it totally, is not just because I want it to look pretty, but if the boys want to make it a clubhouse, then drywall is the best thing for them. I've only got a few sheets of 3/8 inch drywall left, which is the stuff I'm using for the ceiling. So I'll probably just round out the rest of it and call it good enough for today. Absolutely for today. And then I'll think about if I want to have more fun drywalling or not. I don't know. This is the more important side of the building. This is the new studio for the new channel I'm going to be starting. So this had to be done. That over there, don't know if I'll do it, guys. I don't know. I don't want to, but I just don't want to. Either way, I don't have the stuff to do it, so we're not doing it today. Alright, break time, and then we'll go back up on the scaffolding to do some more ceiling stuff. Alright, we have the scaffolding moved over to the doorway because the part of the ceiling we're doing is right above it. I'm going to give Elijah my drill and let him take the light down next, which is the first step, so we can put the drywall in its place. There. $47.5. Let go, you got it. Still good?
Yeah.
Still good?
Yeah.
Still good?
It's like I'm holding up the whole ceiling.
You are. Alright.
That's better.
All things considered, it looks pretty good. Drywall, I am no good at. I am okay at best, and that ceiling and that loft was really a good place for my just make it good enoughness to shine. So this is not one of those jobs where I really want to show off the drywall and say, hey, look, I did this drywall. I'm a DIYer, but I still do. It's a crappy job. It's alright though. It does cover the walls. It is done. It is fine. And we've got to remember, this is not our house. This is not a level 5 finish on drywall. I'm not even a professional. And in the end, most all of that is going to be not even shown. It's a storage loft. So, no big deal. Or, wait, I said storage loft. It might end up being a clubhouse for the boys. I don't know. They kind of want this one. I'd rather than be on that loft if anything, but we'll see. That's really far down the road. Otherwise, I've got to say I am very, very glad that I decided to put the scaffolding together. Once I initially put it together, I regretted it. I'm like, well, great. Now I have no room to work in here. It's just in the way. I wish I hadn't unboxed it. But as the work in the ceiling and the loft took place today, I was so glad that I had it. It's a much safer platform to work on. It's fairly easy to adjust. It's not super easy though, but it can be done. And it's nice to stand on top of a flat platform and do work up here. It would also have been nice to have the scaffolding for the insulation instead of just doing it with a stepladder, but that was okay. Insulation is not very heavy. The drywall is heavy. Even the 3/8 drywall was pretty heavy, and it was actually brittle as well. The first time I carried that full sheet in and tried to do stuff, I could hear it kind of stress cracking and making noises, so that was terrible. So definitely for this, for me, cutting the drywall in half made it manageable. It does give me twice as many seams, but it is what it is. It was either that or the job wasn't going to get done, or I was really going to destroy something. So better that than that. Otherwise, it is looking really nice. As I, kind of pan around a little bit, you can see just drywall behind me. It's a pretty cool looking space. For video work, it will be fine because most of the time in video, you don't really see drywall finishing. You're not going to notice that, especially when I have the things up here that I plan to, and I have some accent lights, and then honestly, it's going to be about the thing that I'm talking about, and it's just a background. I think it's a pretty good stopping point for this video. I did get half of the entire building drywalled. I have reached the halfway point on everything. Ceiling, walls, it all. So that's great. That's a good milestone. It also would be my stopping point if I'm just doing a studio. I've got to really consider if I'm going to drywall the rest of the building, especially in and around all the shelves and everything that's already over there on the storage side. I don't know. I probably should, because if I don't do it now, I never will. I just really don't look forward to that. So, give me some encouragement down in the comments. Tell me, Sam, you can do it. Bring us along. We may not think it's the most interesting thing in the world, but honestly, if you do it, we'll watch the video and we'll support you that way. Or just tell me, don't do it. Who drywalls a storage room? Don't do it. Either way, appreciate you guys watching. If you got any questions or comments, leave them for me down below. Otherwise, take care, and we'll see you guys next time on the homestead. Well, I've reached the part of stopping, the stopping part, yeah. And then at least the building will be the symmetrical, that's it. I'm officially not thinking about words. What am I even talking about? And there's a little going to be, then there's going to be, whether it be the drywall, would have been, what was that sound? Here we go. This has got to be it. It's got to be it. Say it with me. It's got to be it. But eventually it'll be painted. In the last video, with my bandana, I claimed to be Prison Mike. Well, apparently, I have a homemade shank. It's a pruning blade for a reciprocating saw with a couple of paper towels and blue painter's tape wrapped around it to give myself a cushioned handle. Why? Because this is Sam's wallboard saw to cut the drywall. Yeah, it's crazy out here, guys. Crazy. How do I not know what I'm saying? I can't go back.
Welcome to Kittenville.